Good day, I'm Tamara McHale and this is your JIS news for Wednesday, October 15. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller is providing each parliamentarian with access to $2 million and parish councils with access to another $5 million each to carry out cleanup exercises across the country. This is part of government's active response to the chikungunya virus. Stacey Ann Smith has more in this report.
The Prime Minister said the funds to the MPs and mayors are part of the $500 million allocation announced last week.
The objective is to reduce mosquito breeding sites, starting with the worst affected areas, as indicated by the mapping that has been done by the Ministry of Health.
Mrs. Simpson Miller was addressing members of Parliament in a special meeting at Jamaica House Tuesday. She revealed that the rest of the $500 million would be used to address critical emergency needs of the Health Ministry and carry out additional cleanup and vector control activities. This provision supplements $131 million already provided from the Consolidated Fund to the National Solid Waste Management Authority to deal with the backlog in garbage collection. In the meantime, the Ministry of Health received a donation of medication to treat Chik-V symptoms on Tuesday. Food for the Poor handed over 1,600 bottles of paracetamol valued at $7,040. At that function, Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Marion Bullock-Ducasse reiterated that the public health sector had an adequate supply of paracetamol to treat chikungunya symptoms and outlined several of the brands approved by the ministry. They include Panadol, Panelix, Paradenc, Paradmol, APAP, Cetamol, Tylenol, Painol, Painex, Fitzroy paracetamol, Las paracetamol, and MK acetaminophen. Stacey Ann Smith reporting for JIS News.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller also updated parliamentarians on government strategy to deal with the Ebola virus.
Mrs. Simpson Miller announced that the Ministry of Health and Jamaica Defence Force would be heading an integrated national coordinating team. The team will work within the framework of the country's emergency response and management mechanism that's now been activated for the Ebola prevention program.
The government of Jamaica is on high alert and is closely monitoring developments in the United States and Spain to learn lessons from the emergency management of these cases. I contacted one foreign government asking for assistance in terms of preparations and training of our health professionals.
Elsewhere, the Minister of Health, Dr. Fenton Ferguson, revealed that government would be embarking on simulation exercises to ensure that health workers are prepared to manage and know how to react if they have to deal with any Ebola case. These activities will include demonstration and practice sessions on how to correctly use personal protection equipment. He also indicated that an isolation facility has been identified and retrofitted specifically for Ebola, adding that the plan was not to treat patients in hospitals, but rather transfer them from isolation areas in those facilities to the special Ebola treatment facility. The parliamentary opposition, meanwhile, has signaled its full cooperation for the actions being taken by the government to deal with both Ebola and the chikungunya virus. Simone Wolf reporting for JIS News.
And National Security Minister Peter Bunting has called on Latin American and Caribbean countries to treat the Ebola virus as a threat to national security. Minister Bunting was speaking in Peru at the 11th Conference of Defense Ministers of the Americas, held from October 12 to 14. He said the devastation in African countries was clear evidence that the virus should not be taken lightly. Minister Bunting therefore urged regional countries to work together to prevent the spread of Ebola and other diseases throughout the region. He added that Jamaica was looking forward to the establishment of a military health system in emergency situations. In other news, the World Bank will be meeting with various Caribbean countries to examine and develop projects that are essential to economic development. World Bank President Jim Yum King is to meet with Caribbean ministers of finance and governors of central banks at a summit early next year. They will discuss projects to reduce debt and increase growth while addressing issues relating to climate change and high electricity rates. The World Bank Summit was proposed by Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips, who suggested that multilateral agencies meet to discuss how to assist Caribbean countries facing a high debt burden. And finally, rehabilitation work on 1.2 kilometers of the Spring Village Bushy Park Road in St. Catherine is far advanced. The $31.5 million project is being carried out as a joint venture between the Ministry of Transport and Jamaica Broilers Limited.
I think it is a good idea if we can have other company joining with us as government to see how we can work together to improve the infrastructure.
The Transport and Work State Minister viewed the progress of the 3-month road project a week ago. The work, which began in August, is estimated to be about 60% complete and involves resurfacing and patching. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Tamara McHale. Thank you for watching.